I felt the same way. That's a movie that a lot of people will come to me and go like, you know what? I didn't think I would like this movie, and I know it's not good, but I really liked it. And I go like, oh, well then I'll watch it. And I go like, this movie's shit.
It's one of those movies that's stupid humor. If you're half awake and hungover, I could see thinking it was entertaining or really drunk or something. But I saw it sober both times. Maybe that was a mistake.
I could see liking that movie if, say, like in the game, somebody buried me in South America. I woke up
covered in rooster blood and with a dead whore next to me.
And for 2 months I couldn't get a passport, so all I could watch was Spanish-speaking TV.
Yeah.
And then suddenly a movie came on in English and it was Kung Pao. Then I would like it.
Well, actually, that's how I saw it the second time, and I still didn't like it.
I propped that hooker up and go, look, honey, it's Kung Pao again.
Yeah. The smell was starting to get to me at that point, though, admittedly, so that might have been part of the problem. But his question is, are there any movies that have grown on us? Like, we didn't really like when we first saw it, and then, for whatever reason, we saw it again, and it grew on us. And, I have two answers for this, mainly because they're opposite ends of the spectrum.
Sure.
One is kind of surprising. It's one of those things I'm always loath to admit that I really didn't like Chinatown the first time I saw it.
Really?
I just thought it was boring and kind of
wow. That is the movie that like all script writers are told to watch.
But the first time I saw it I was like 16.
Okay.
And I was like
enough.
one of those and my older brother was bugging me to watch it. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll watch it reluctantly. And when you're 16,
Sure.
But I watched it again a couple years back. I was like, you know what? This is one of those. Come on, man, Chinatown. How could this possibly be as bad as I remember it? Sure enough, I just sat there mortified the whole time myself. You want to just smack the shit out of yourself, like, you stupid motherfucker. What the hell were you thinking?
Wait a minute. Can I guess what the answer is to your other movie?
Oh, go ahead.
Fight Club?
No, because Fight Club I only didn't like for about 5 minutes. So
because I remember talking to you after you saw Fight Club,
and
when I loved it, when it was my favorite movie, you were like, eh. I was like, are you kidding
my
me?
problems with it are still viable. It's just I saw the second time why they made the decisions they did. That's
Okay.
all. So it wasn't really like, and I saw it like 3 days later after the first time.
Okay.
So come on.
Okay.
No, my other one is Galaxy Quest, which I thought was just dull and meandering and kind of like not that funny the first time I saw it. And then I saw it again 2 years later and went, oh my God, this is funny as hell. I did not see why I didn't think this was fun.
Right
I've
on.
watched it probably 10 times since then. I love that movie. Anyway, Leon, go ahead. What are your
Oh,
What
okay.
do you got?
It's funny because what you say about Galaxy Quest is how I felt about SpongeBob the first time. Like not liking it that much, and then somebody who I didn't expect to like it liked it, and I watched it again and loved it. Okay, I don't have two movies that I didn't like the first time that I liked later, and I'm sure there are some. I couldn't think of them, but I can think of two movies that I was meh about the first time, and then saw them a second time and absolutely fell in love with.
Yeah.
One being The Terminal, with Tom Hanks and Catherine Zeta-Jones. I saw that with you, and we all liked it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
But we're
then-
like,
yeah. But then it came on HBO one day, one afternoon. I was home, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Got
Okay.
into the story, everything about it. Just really just loved that movie.
Wow.
The other one would be, and this is a more high-profile movie, Superman Returns.
Right, I
Where-
remember that.
When you guys loved it, I was like, yeah, it's okay.
Always
It
go
doesn't-
with your first answer.
It doesn't have a good ending, or it takes too long to have a really good ending. And then the second time I saw it, which is the time we saw it with Beau, where he was pulling Robert De Niro and laughing really loud at everything. But it touched
Smoking
me.
a cigar.
Corey asked me not to take him to movies that have humor of any sort in them anymore.
He said, don't bring your little friend to movies with any humor.
And funny, despite that, there was a point when I fell in love with like the whole love story, the alienation that he felt. I got in touch with it to where like every time I watch that movie now, I cry watching it.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, Jason,
Queen.
you're the gay one in this crowd.
Oh, is that right? I'm gay because
For
I don't
not liking
I don't cry at that boring fucking
No,
movie.
it's like we said, someone pointed out to me a couple of Leogs ago, one of the lines I said, it was like, yeah, the more freaked out you are by stuff that seems gay, the higher the chance you secretly want to suck cock yourself.
It doesn't. The person who is yelling faggot is always the biggest queen in the room. I'll touch you later. Oh, good, it's my turn.
Yes, it's Beau's.
Can I pleasure you?
Uh,
Yes, later you will.
You'll have to take your tongue out of his butthole first to do it.
I-
He
I-
hates that.
This is weird, because I really dislike the director. It's definitely the beginning of the downfall for the franchise, but I can actually watch Batman Forever and find enjoyable qualities.
No.
It's one of those movies that if it comes on TV, It's nothing that I own, nothing that I would buy. But if it comes on TV, I'll watch it, and I will generally enjoy it. So I think Val Kilmer does a pretty good job. I think Nicole Kidman does a very good job. The most disappointing thing about the movie is the fact that they had Two-Face in it and completely blew him off.
Yeah.
Honestly,
but other than that, it's okay.
Take Tommy Lee Jones out of the movie, and I like it.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
It's my favorite of the pre-Christopher Nolan Batman.
I think Jim Carrey did it.
Really? That's a bold statement.
Yes.
In retrospect, I agree with you. When I was a kid, obviously I liked the first one a lot, but even then I was like, you can't kill the Joker. What are you, an idiot?
Yeah, exactly.
This is wrong. Even as a kid, I understood that you don't do that.
Right.
Jim Carrey nailed the Riddler.
Yes, he did.
I thought he nailed the Joker.
Okay.
You know what? I always thought that, and I'm sorry
this
to
a
interrupt
Jim
Beau.
Carrey nailed the Joker.
I think, see, that's the thing.
This is Brokeback
Wow.
Mountain with
I really thought
Joker
that
and the Riddler?
I thought that
Why
Nicholson-
can't I quit you, man?
I always thought that Jim Carrey's performance of the Riddler would have been better suited to the Joker, and Jack Nicholson's performance of the Joker would have been better suited to the Riddler.
I would go with the first one, not so much with the second one.
Same here.
Sure.
The second thing that I'm going to say isn't something that I disliked when I saw it in the theater, but I just kind of blew off. And I don't know why, but it has grown into one of my favorite, like, comfort food, feel good.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
No. It's and I'm sorry because this is just going to get another spate of gay jokes, but Zorro the Gay Blade.
I love Zorro the Gay Blade.
It's
great.
It's so
That
fucking
movie's
awesome.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's George Hamilton playing dual roles. He plays like the swarthy Latin, Don Diego Vega, who is the son of the original Zorro, and then he also plays his twin brother, who was shipped away into the British Navy as like a kid, and comes back as just. Basically a flaming tart,
Dude.
And one of the best scenes is when, basically George Hamilton, the Latin character breaks his ankle and he can't go out and be Zorro anymore. But his brother shows up and he's like, "Hey, you can put on Zorro's costume." But he talks like this, very silted, fairy English accent, and he's like, he's putting like makeup on him and making him look like Zorro, and making him tan. He's like, "Yes, I think I know what you're saying." He's like, I think I found a problem. There is something wrong with your bowels. My what? Your bowels, the way you say your A's, I's, O's, and you.
I just want to do a little sidebar. Co-host has been here the entire time, and he is so quiet which is weird for that little robot bastard.
He's afraid we're gonna ass right.
The magic.
He's waiting for his turn to patch in.
He's wearing his Gay Blade T-shirt. He wants to say something so bad.
a couple of cold ones with. Oh wait, everyone else is dead. All right, Jason. Now it's your turn. What's yours?
Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hated Dumb and Dumber the first time I saw it.
I couldn't even finish watching it.
I ended up seeing it 3 times in the theater.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah. And now it's just like, it's one of those, just you put it on and you automatically start laughing because it's so quotable and it's so stupid and so funny, though. I hated it, though. And honestly, and here's something, and I've shared this before. I think I've shared this on a Leog before. No Country for Old Men.
You didn't like it at all.
You didn't like it first.
I did not like it the first time because I thought the ending was such a sucker punch.
Wait, what ending?
right. And then I went back and watched it again, and I liked it even more. I watched it again, and I liked it even more. And then I read the book, and I freaking loved it, which you shouldn't have to do to love the movie.
Right.
But now I just think it's absolutely brilliant. So
Right on.
two opposite ends, polar opposite ends, Dumb and Dumber and No Country for Old Men.
Hey man, that works.
Yeah,
But
no
yeah,
doubt.
if you guys like No Country for Old Men, please read the Cormac McCarthy book because it actually improves the book, or it actually improves the movie, and you see where the Coen brothers fucked it up. To be quite honest,
Really? Because I figured like the problem was that they were too accurate.
Yeah, no, that's what I always heard was that it was like
no,
just
because
like the book.
Honestly, with the book, there is between every other chapter. There's a monologue from Tommy Lee Jones's character.
Oh.
Yes. So if you watch the movie with that in mind, you realize this is his movie. It's not about Josh Brolin. That's peripheral. And that, with those monologues, that is very clear in the novel. And it makes a lot more sense, and it's a lot better.
That
but
would have made a
the
lot
Coen
more sense.
brothers decided to get all arrogant and film cineast, and say, oh, well, you know what? We're going to do a Fargo and pull a rug out from everyone. It didn't have to be that way.
Not that there's anything wrong with Fargo, because it's not.
No. Fargo's great, but they pulled the Sopranos on us.
Well, look, I think
Right.
Beau plugged in co-host
Right.
here.
Oh yeah, co-host. He mentioned the co-host. I tell you what, it's funny because Beetlejuice you got to say 3 times, but co-host you say
Co-host.
once,
Yeah.
and then suddenly he's here.
Hey, could you Leon? Could you pick me up and put me on the table so I can see?
All right, hold on.
get eye
Jesus,
level?
man, you've been putting on weight. Okay,
Hey!
here you go.
So you can stare directly into
Watch,
Cyrus's
that's-
crotch?
I've just been bulking up on my circuits. Yeah, that's it. No, what the hell?
Beefcake!
What the hell are you guys talking about?
Co-host, tell us.
Okay,
Gay blades.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
going on?
co-host.
All I heard was gay in here. And
Co-host,
That
we-
made a lot of sense.
And
for some
he
reason.
came a running.
We know you don't you don't like a lot of movies, but what movies did you not like at first, and now you do like?
Oh my God.
How Stella got her groove back?
Oh, Way of the Gun. There you go.
Oh, you didn't like Way of the Gun at first?
I hated it. I thought it was
See,
retarded.
It's funny because, like, to me, when I saw Way of the Gun, you were like one of the people I thought of as like, oh, he's gonna love this.
You know what? It's funny you said that because, somebody else who is trying to think like me said the same exact thing. And I was like, no, you moron. Be yourself. Don't try to be me. You shut up, all right? Just get out of my face. Quit stalking me. But, no, but basically, no, I saw it and then I was like, wow, what kind of bullshit was that? And a friend of mine was like, don't you get it, dumbass? You're not supposed to like anyone in that movie. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, who would have thunk it? And then I started.
That was a
I started
really-
to thunk it, and then
Yeah.
and then it really wow, this is a kind of a kick-ass movie.
It was a really uneven movie, but
It was,
there's a
but-
lot to like.
Well, it was a lot to
To
like.
me, it's
Garish.
one of those movies that should have done better than it did. I thought, like, of all the like Tarantino wannabes.
Well, see, but
like,
it's not though. It's a tribute to Sam Peckinpah through
Yes.
and
Okay.
through.
You know, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
now
but
that
you could say that about Tarantino.
No, you can't. You could say he borrows from Peckinpah, but that is a. Way
you know
of the
what?
Gun
What
is
did you just say that
flat-
was different than what I just
No,
said?
no. Because Way of the Gun is 100% a tribute to Sam Peckinpah.
I can say that with
Okay.
Reservoir Dogs, definitely.
Ah.
He said,
Yeah.
I'm going to kill that bitch and fuck start her head.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
Well, hey, your buddy Beau, he's
Hey.
his crotch is right in my face, so I usually don't feel comfortable in this position. So I'll see you homos later. I'll see you guys later. Oh, see you later.
Your steel head is so beautiful.
Kiss me there.
We don't serve their kind here.
Yeah. Oh, I'll call you an adult. It'll be
love-
okay.
I love broads and $2 hookers. Don't look at my ass when I'm leaving.
Mr. Cyrus, what we got
Believe it or
next?
not, we still haven't actually gotten to comics, so let's start that move.
All right, let's jump into that.
Because Meh, who I love the name of the guy, Meh. That's my
He
favorite.
loves you.
Yes.
He loves you.
He loves us all. Meh says, lately we've been having more Marvel superhero movies and Batman being the only recent DC movie. We all know Watchmen is coming out next year, which isn't strictly speaking DC universe, even though DC publishes it.
Okay.
It doesn't take place with
Sure,
those same
sure.
universes
It's not
as the
in
other
the DCU,
heroes.
I understand.
All right. But are there any characters in the DC universe you feel should be put on the big screen? And Beau is the one who sold me on this. One of those characters I never thought I'd have much interest in, but holy shit, Green Arrow.
Yep.
Holy shit, Green Arrow. I mean, I was always like, okay, he's a mildly interesting character, but then Judd Winnick started writing him. And holy shit, Green Arrow. I mean, this is a great character.
Really? Because Green Arrow, admittedly from himself and from Batman, is a poor man's Batman.
No, see?
Yeah,
see,
but have,
what
have
they-
you read any of the Winnick Run?
Only a little bit.
Actually, and I will give out complete props to Kevin Smith, who they killed off the original Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, in the 80s, and they brought him back through a graphic novel that Kevin Smith wrote called Quiver, and he
Right,
did
which I liked a lot.
and he did a really good job.
Yeah.
And then it was what was it, Mark Metzger?
He did one book.
Yeah,
one short
Mark
run.
Metzger did one book,
think.
which was very good. And then Winnick showed up, and just like he did such a great job on The Outsiders and such a good job on the Kyle Rayner run of Green Lantern, he just fucking hit it, man. And he brought out all of these the great character flaws that Oliver Queen has and incorporated them so well into these really great storylines. The great thing about Green Arrow is that he fucks up all the time. And I'm not talking about in his crime-fighting ways. He is a very effective crime fighter. But he tends to fuck
But he's
over.
a liberal.
He is nearly a screaming communist.
Oh, he's a hippie.
And he's a great big hippie, but he fucks over the people that he loves. He's screwed around on Black Canary several
Did he
times.
really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he basically stepped to the wayside with his ward, who was Roy Harper, Speedy, who
Not
later
to
went.
say he was fucking his
No,
ward.
but
I was gonna say.
he stepped to the side, and Speedy turned to drugs and became addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
It was a great big storyline. That was in the 70s. That was back when in the Spider-Man arc.
But any of us who've dealt with addiction knows that it's not Green Lantern's fault that Speedy became a heroin addict. That's Speedy's fault.
Well, when you have a name like Speedy, I mean, come on.
What are you gonna do? Of course, he took a depressant, oddly
But no,
enough.
Hal is a fucking enabler. Let me say that right now.
Oliver.
No, Hal.
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, is an enabler?
He totally is.
Yeah, he's kind of a party guy. It's true.
Oh well, he is. Yeah, and in fact, that was when that happened. That took place when in the 70s, Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams did a really great series with Green Arrow and Green Lantern.
I was going to suggest I would love to see just a movie of that. When they get in a truck and drive across America to prove a point.
I would love to see that.
Basically, it's like an argument about what makes up America is how
So
it starts.
it's like a superhero into the wild.
Yes,
like
it
do
is,
they
actually.
end up in Alaska where they eat the wrong plants and they both die of dysentery?
Well, no, it's not like that. Not the same point, but it is a road trip movie. The America.
Do you want to slap the shit out of the protagonist the entire movie?
They are making a Green Arrow movie.
Well,
Right,
Supermax.
Yeah, Supermax.
Yeah.
Which is going to be him, and he's not going to be in costume because he's going to be in prison. They imprison him for vigilantism basically, and he's locked in, and they're basically going to have the villains are going to be a lot of like low grade DC villains like the Icicle and shit like that.
See, that's awesome. I love that.
I know. I think it could work in the right hands.
No one ever.
I
wears a
doubt
costume
it is in the right
entire
hands.
Movie,
though.
apparently,
I
is the
just
word.
want to see. I want to see a straightforward Green Arrow movie first.
I would love to see that. DC is going to concentrate. They haven't even launched any of the main characters other than Superman and Batman. They still haven't made a good Wonder Woman movie. They haven't made a Wonder Woman movie at all.
Right.
They're kind of talking about doing a Green Lantern with Ryan Gosling is
Which-
like
was it
number
Ryan
one.
Gosling?
He's the one that's in talks right now.
Rumored.
One of the characters that I would have suggested is already being made, or at least in talks, is Jonah Hex, and Josh Brolin is supposedly in talks with
Not
this,
Thomas Jane.
but not Thomas Jane, thank God.
Now,
and
that whole
I think
thing
Josh
was
Brolin is
Thomas-
going to do a good job. But one of the things about DC is the universe is so stratified with timelines and alternate universes and stuff like this. They have so many like weird characters that don't really take place, or at least take place in a corner of the universe, that you don't have to worry about any kind of canon or
that's
ruining a future Justice League movie. And I'd love to see something with like the Challengers of the Unknown
that would be good.
the Doom Patrol.
I can't wait to see a Superboy Prime movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, or a Power Girl movie
I was gonna
that
say
deals.
Power Girl shit. Yeah. Let's see it
that
from,
deals with all of her various
I want to
origins.
see the Dark Brothers directed. And,
I wish
the porno guys. Come on, man, stay with us.
I really wish, and I like the animated series. I think it's pretty well done. But I'd love to see a really, really serious, cool Legion of the Superheroes movie, like animated or live action, either one, because that's one of my favorite DC franchises ever.
Jason?
Oh, and Teen Titans, love to see that.
I'm sure now that Beau's finished extrapolating
now
on
we
every
let
single
Beau name every
license
single
in the
character
DC
in the
universe,
DC universe.
we can give someone else a turn. Is there anything left?
Shit,
I love
don't
DC.
know.
Fuck you.
I don't know. Blue Devil.
Hell yeah, Devil Dinosaur, bitch.
Kid Eternity movie. Captain Comet.
No.
OMAC.
Green. I would actually, and of course, as listeners would know, and as you guys know, I'm not the biggest DC fan. I have respect for it, but it just seems so impenetrable with the crisis-laden continuity.
Oh God, get over it. The Marvel universe is just as weird.
But
I mean, come on. Describe to me what every X-Man title is.
Okay, Beau, your turn is over. Sit back.
I have the conch now.
He has the talking stick.
Green Lantern. I think there's everything there for a huge, epic space opera intergalactic battle to see. Hal Jordan's origin and going off to Oa and Sinestro and everything. I think that could be just really sweeping and mind-blowing. So, yeah. There you go.
No, I agree. Hal Jordan is a spectacular character, person. As
you know what?
So
any of the Green Lantern.
Wait a minute. What the hell is the problem here? Oh, you're gonna go. What's the matter with the Black Lantern? Is that what it is, Leon? Is that what that look is?
You know what?
Fuck you, honkies.
Well, you know what?
Because it didn't start like that.
You know what?
That's
a
why.
freaky Martian Manhunter story would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Whatever. You guys and your goddamn Hal Jordan. I grew up.
He's who started it.
Yeah, I grew up with Hal Jordan. You know what? The best thing about Hal Jordan is his haircut.
Whatever.
Hal Jordan has great hair.
They're gonna tell a Batman movie and go, why do we have to have Bruce Wayne? Why don't we have Azrael? I
No.
don't see what the problem is.
No. Bruce Wayne has established
No, that's
himself
not
as a
valid.
great character, but Green Lantern was never interesting until he was dealt with on the Justice League cartoon, and suddenly with Jon Stewart, that's when he became an interesting Green Lantern. It wasn't until Bruce Timm and the guys in the cartoon gave Jon Stewart a definite Green Lantern personality that Green Lantern had a personality.
I can't argue with that.
Because I mean, Hal Jordan was a cipher. As a matter of fact, when they killed him off, I was upset because he was the Green Lantern I grew up with. But then they made it Kyle Rayner. I was like, you know what? Kyle Rayner's actually got more going on with him than Hal Jordan ever did. And it's bringing him back. It's just pacifying these old fans who never gave up. And it's like, you know what? As much as I didn't want to say fuck those guys. Up until, I think it was in the 80s when they decided to make Hal Jordan a guy who had no fear. Prior to that, the only thing that established Hal Jordan outside of everybody else was that he had an Eskimo sidekick whom he named Pie Face. Yeah. He called this guy Pie Face all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. Even when they made the Green Lantern cartoons, they were like, shit, that's racist.
This is our lead-in to the big question. Brock asks, what are each of your guys' favorite...
Brock Sampson?
No, just Brock.
Oh, just Brock. Okay.
Brock asks, what are each of you guys' favorite Secret Invasion
Brock.
tie-in?
You got to name us Brock.
And we're not going to flat out answer that. We're just going to go into the Secret Invasion thing, which is what we want to talk about, because this is a big event happening across the whole Marvel universe, at least whenever they find it convenient.
As much as we might want to ignore it, we cannot.
No, you can't, because it's affecting most of the major comics at this point.
Yes.
Even crappy-ass Amazing Spider-Man.
Is it really?
which we
none of us are
reading. That issue was, I downloaded it. I did not pay for it, and I have no problem saying that. I downloaded it, and I read it, and it was fucking painful to read, horribly written, and
Spider-Man never appears in it, and there's a message. Spider-Man can be seen in the pages of pretty much every other comic that's being published now, except Amazing Spider-Man.
Really?
Mary Jane is the main character.
It's not Mary Jane. It's Jackpot. We don't know if she's Mary Jane, although she calls everybody fucking Tiger.
No, there was a codicil. She got a write-in on her deal with the devil. Yeah. And they're like, okay, so to save Aunt May, we have to...
we're talking about Brand New Day. Fuck it. We're talking about Secret Invasion. Go.
Right. Yeah, Secret Invasion.
All right.
Point being is she added a write-in to be Jackpot.
Yes.
So
what's our favorite points of Secret Invasion?
Well, people don't know. Secret Invasion, there's this group called the Skrulls, and they're shape-changing aliens from another race.
And they've been around since Fantastic Four number 3.
They were pretty much the first official Marvel Universe alien foe.
And all of their first names are John. John Big Boutte.
John.
They're not from the 8th dimension. They are from our dimension. They just live on another planet.
I think you're from the 8th dimension.
And they're shapeshifters. and Reed Richards, being the smart guy that he is, was able to defeat them by making them think they were cows.
Yeah, basically.
And
which they're
30 years later, no, maybe 40 years later, Grant Morrison ripped off for his first story arc in the Justice League.
Yeah.
He totally ripped it off.
Oh, yeah.
He made the Martians think they were firefighters.
They've played a very significant part in the Marvel universe.
Yes.
One of the biggest events in the 70s was something called the Kree Skrull War, which took the Kree, which are another big alien race who, like Captain Marvel, the Marvel Captain Marvel, was a member of, went to war, and there was a great big intergalactic war, and Earth was basically midway in that war.
And they have since, decreed that the Kree are what us Earthlings will evolve into at some point.
We're supposed to evolve in the Kree, but the Kree have they've reached a evolutionary stagnancy, so they can no
can't
longer
evolve anymore, as opposed to the Skrull.
The Skrulls but the Skrulls have been fucked over like a lot in the last 10 years. Like basically they tricked Galactus into going and eating their home world. I mean,
anyway, this muddled.
Point as much as they've been fucked like that, hey, they kind of had it coming. They took over.
Oh no, they're horrible
worlds.
Shape-shifting scum.
Yeah, they're not like the sympathetic alien.
Therein lies our tale, because what has basically been happening, hey, remember Secret War when Nick Fury went to war with Latveria 4 or 5 years ago? Dating back to that time, basically, Brian Michael Bendis, Mark Millar, and a couple of other writers they're going back and revealing that all of this shit that has been happening since then, one of the major players that have been happening is the Skrulls. And the Skrulls are shapeshifters, but basically they have come up with a way that if you use magic, you can't detect them. If you have a great big computer suit like Iron Man, you can't detect them.
No matter what it is.
If you're a genius like Reed Richards, you can't detect them. Nobody can detect them
If you have a
anymore.
mutant power like Wolverine, you can sniff out anything.
Yeah, nothing works.
You can't fucking do it.
But, well, part of the whole thing is they've made it where, and this is the way it seems as we're getting at this point in the story, their downfall as well. These people actually believe they are these characters.
Yeah, to an extent, they do take on the personality of the people that they are portraying.
I mean, to the point that some of them, like Captain Marvel, even when he finds out that he's actually a Skrull, goes, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm a Kree anyway.
And the bigger one is Henry Pym, who basically they've gone through 5 Yellow Jackets at this point.
Because you can't program his personality on someone and make him turn against the humans.
And not only that, but you can't make him not be a genius. And he keeps on figuring out that this fucking invasion can't work. There's no fucking way. And as soon as he says that, they get some guy to come in and basically blow him the fuck away.
Yeah. It's interesting.
But they've been infiltrating the Marvel universe for about 5 years now, and this is all culminating in a big fucking invasion.
And hopefully it will be revealed in issue 8 that they actually infiltrated all the way up to the Marvel editor-in-chief.
Well, here's the big question for you guys. Now, do you think they really have planned this from the beginning?
No,
or is this a retcon?
I'm really grateful they're not using this to fix some of the big mistakes they made lately, like cheap ways out. Like they teased, Tony Stark is a Skrull, which would have been just such a corny, cheesy way to fix all their recent fuck-ups. And they said, you know what?
Spoiler!
Yeah. He's not. And he's not a Skrull.
No,
and
Tony Stark is not a Skrull. He's just a dick.
Yeah, no, but that's the whole
Which
thing.
I think is better.
By the way they've done this, instead of just making him a Skrull, they made him have to examine the result of his actions to where, under the thought where he has to think for a little while, what if I am a Skrull? I guess this is kind of fucked up, some of the shit I did, and have to examine it suddenly, step outside himself to see his own actions. And that was much more interesting.
Go back and read, I think it was Thor number 3?
Number 3,
where Thor basically says, Tony, you're a douchebag, and I'm a god, and get ready for the wrath of said god. I'm about to lay the smack down.
Yeah.
And it was very, very gratifying. But anyway.
I want to throw out, the first opinion of the discussion. Big surprise. But generally, I am against crossovers for the most part.
Oh, I'm with you, brother.
I'm just like... You're wasting my money. You're making me read all these comic books that I don't want to read. It's so, in my face how you're ass raping me. I don't want to do this. Just take your fucking title and go. Write a good fucking story. That's all that I ask. That being said, I'm enjoying the fuck out of Secret Invasion.
You know what?
Really
I thought
am.
it ran out of soap there, and it didn't need to be 8 issues. I think they could have wrapped it up in 6.
No, it feels at the 6 point. It's like, really? 2 more issues?
Yeah.
I
Along with all the
disagree.
more
I
spread
disagree.
outs?
There's so much stuff that needs to come down the pike. I think 8 is perfect.
I mean, the way they're going, I know most people are probably only reading the primary issues and maybe 1 or 2 other things. I mean, they're carrying this into Miss Marvel, the Incredible Hercules.
Well, it should be affecting every title, and yet so many titles are ignored.
yeah, that is the major flaw in the ointment.
The writers were given an opt-in, opt-out of saying, listen, we're about to tell this big story arc. Do you want to be involved or not?
I read Iron Man, Director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Captain America and Daredevil every month, and it's been completely ignored.
Which is ridiculous for those.
Exactly. Now,
Especially since Daredevil in the series, right from the beginning, has been replaced with a Skrull. So how can you not tell that
Marvel
story?
has a history of that. If you recall, like going back to Secret Wars,
Now, the last issue of Iron Man said that, like, okay, on our next story arc, we're going to start addressing it.
Yeah, there
I have yet to
have been
read
some
that,
latecomers. Like everything was well underway before they brought in the X-Men.
Honestly, I can't take it seriously unless it involves everyone and there's an immediate impact into everything I'm reading.
I'm with you. And yet, whenever I read an issue of actual Secret Invasion, then I'm into it. And I think those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you been following the little side things?
Now, I will say about the side things, for the most part, I haven't. However, Mighty Avengers number 55, I thought was excellent.
Which one was that?
I don't read Mighty Avengers, but it's the one where
Mighty Avengers has basically been telling the backstory.
Okay.
Right.
No,
they're the ones that say,
it's the lost
okay,
flashbacks
5
of
years
the
ago,
story.
this is what happened.
Because
So,
when you read,
so is New Avengers.
when you read Secret Invasion or New Avengers, you find out that Hank Pym has been turned. But Mighty Avengers number 55 tells you a story of how Hank Pym was turned.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
It's John Romita Jr. art, but the way the story's told, it is awesome. It's a real detailed account. You can really feel it. It's on a very real level.
I've enjoyed all the Avengers stuff that's been backups to these. I think they've all been really
all of the
good.
Skrull stuff, it was interesting for a minute, but then they started doing it every issue, and it really got old to see, okay, and here's this character getting turned into a Skrull, and here's all of the debating between all of these faceless Skrulls.
But it is
got really tiring.
It is disinteresting if you're just reading it, because I can't imagine anybody reading Mighty Avengers right now because it is all backstory.
Yeah.
But if you're reading Secret Invasion and some
And
other stuff,
I am.
yeah,
Same with New Avengers.
I
Same with
find it
Avengers
interesting.
Initiative, even really.
Yeah,
and, for a good portion
it's
of it.
like it's a little like here's your little sorbet to cleanse your palate. Oh, and I do actually want to answer the question as far as all the crossovers that's going on, and it is the crossover that has had the least to do with the Secret Invasion. But the Captain Britain
I was
and
wondering if you
MI1
were
stuff,
gonna
I
like
heard
I
that was
fucking love it,
fantastic.
Wait a
dude.
minute, shouldn't it be MI5?
It's MI1.
MI13.
Military Intelligence
No.
1 is the one that deals
okay.
with
13, I thought. I'm pretty sure.
No,
it's
because
MI13.
one of it says MI1 and then the issue number is 3.
I heard that one was fantastic.
Maybe it is MI13.
I'm pretty sure it's MI13.
Okay, there's that scene where where Captain Britain comes back and basically for a 40-mile radius from all of London, every Union Jack that is flying in the sky
Nice.
just comes down and coalesces
And reforms
around him and
Captain
reforms Captain Britain, and it's just fuck
While he's
and I'm
reaches
fucking
out and grabs
Irish, and I was
Excalibur out of the stone
And
to
I'm-
fight the Skrull. And
I'm
you're like,
fucking Irish.
That's awesome.
I'm fucking Irish, and I was tearing up. It's fucking A, yeah.
My,
Wait, are you
my
Northern
favorite
Irish?
my favorite spinoff has actually been the Secret Invasion